There's video footage now going viral in the last several hours on social media about this missile attack from U.S. provided missiles to Ukraine being fired into Russia, 6 of them specifically. So let's watch and then learn what on earth that means for the rest of us.
This is video from a previous situation, not the one that we are about to discuss here, but we did just learn from the Associated Press that Ukraine fired 6 U.S.-made missiles here at Russia's Bryansk region. Russia's defense ministry just releasing that information days after U.S. President Biden eased those restrictions on Ukrainian use of American-made weapons in the war that is now marking its 1,000th day.
So, chat, forgive me if I'm mistaken on this, but this literally happened like 48 hours ago, right? I was half following the headline and rolled my eyes at it and thought, yeah, of course, Biden's going to Biden. But like 48 hours ago, Joe Biden gave the green light to Ukraine to fire American-provided missiles into Russia as a very clear escalation of force against Russia in the ongoing 1,000th day now of conflict that we've been very clearly wrapped up in every single aspect of. So this was mere days ago, hours, if you really want to be that precise and specific. And Russia said for months, if Washington, D.C. allows for this green light to happen, we would consider you, as Russia, to be directly involved in the war in Ukraine. And we will retaliate against you if you do that. And Biden freaking big fat did it anyway. So that ends up happening, obviously, as we know now. That happened early this morning, late last night.
Ukraine claimed it hit a military weapons depot there in the middle of the night, though it didn't specify what weapons it actually used. The Ukrainian General Staff said that multiple explosions and detonations were heard in that targeted area. And in a statement carried by Russian news agencies, the Russian Defense Ministry said the military shot down 5 of those Army tactical missile systems and damaged another. The fragments fell on the territory of an unspecified military facility. That's again, according to Russia's ministry. The falling debris sparking a fire, but did not inflict any danger or any casualties. Neither side's claims could be independently verified by the Associated Press. The announcement came after Biden did authorize Ukraine to use those U.S.-supplied missiles to strike deeper inside Russia, easing limitations on the longer-range weapons after Russia deployed thousands of North Korean troops in the conflict.
So this was from us. This was a green light from the United States. Yep, sure. Take 6 missiles we're going to send to you that can propel themselves way far into Russian territory. And even though we've been telling you for months, yeah, it's probably not smart. Like, don't do that. Don't fire those into Russia because we know exactly how that's going to go. You're okay to do it now. It's okay to do it now. Now that, you know, the warmongers lost the election in America and we're probably not going to get away with continuing to send you billions of dollars in war expenditures, which, by the way, our Secretary of State just reaffirmed a few days ago that the United States will commit to sending every penny it has to Ukraine between now and January 20th. Tell me exactly who has the best interests of the American people at heart again. But the American people have already clearly decided that in the last few weeks. So you guys already know that. No need to wake you up. These people hate you so much that they then went a step further to try to do everything they can to justify actually entering into World War III 60 days before Donald Trump takes office. And what, a week before Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin were scheduled to begin peace talks? They already were ready to talk about ending this war as they are prepared to end basically every other conflict across the planet. As we know, like literally 12 hours after Donald Trump was declared the president-elect, Hamas said they're ready to negotiate a ceasefire. Iran is telling every one of its proxies in the Middle East, hey, you might want to like start retreating and stand down because we know exactly how this guy operates. The world respects the leadership of Donald Trump from a foreign policy perspective. And to many respects, Vladimir Putin respects the leadership of Donald Trump in this particular conflict or anything else. So we were mere days away from being prepared to negotiate peace, the end of the Russia-Ukraine war. But Joe Biden and Blinken and every single one of the other politicians in Washington, D.C. who stand to financially benefit because most of them hold personal stock holdings in the military-industrial complex. Shocking how that works. I'm sure Nancy Pelosi leads them all because she's the worst insider trader on Capitol Hill. They want war, so they have to keep perpetuating it. And or maybe this is some sort of political stab in the back to Donald Trump for overwhelmingly sweeping the country. So they escalate things when they know that they shouldn't. And for months, they have not. They have strategically not done this, but now do it 60 days, almost to the day, before Donald Trump takes the oath of office to become the president of the United States, 47th president of the United States. And now everyone's pissed. Vladimir Putin has issued a new warning to the United States with a new nuclear doctrine this morning after those 6 missiles were fired. Specifically, he lowered the threshold for what will constitute a nuclear retaliation, what would empower Russia to launch a nuke back at you in response to a broader range of conventional attacks, making it easier for Russia to nuke us. And Moscow said Ukraine had struck deep inside Russia with these U.S.-made missiles. Putin approved the change 2 days after U.S. officials and sources familiar with the decision said on Sunday that U.S. President Joe Biden's administration would allow Ukraine to use U.S.-made weapons. Then it happens 1 day later, and a day after that, Putin goes, yeah, we're just going to nuke you in response. Ugh. And it's not like we didn't know this was going to happen. Russia had been warning people for months that if Joe Biden allowed Ukraine to fire these U.S., British, and French-made missiles deep into Russia, Moscow would consider those NATO members to be directly involved in the war in Ukraine. And therefore, we will be justified to do this in response. Launch a nuclear strike. You know, everybody's been making these jokes in the last 2 weeks since Election Day about Joe Biden being secretly based and how he secretly voted for Trump. And clearly Jill Biden secretly voted for Trump because of her Nancy Reagan red pantsuit that she wore on Election Day and how much he hates Kamala Harris and just wanted to undermine her. I have to wonder now if all of the memes people were making about Biden laughing in the Oval Office during the ceremonial lunch with Trump was actually him laughing because he knew exactly how far up everybody's butt he was going to stick his middle finger to try to escalate nuclear war. For what purpose? To stick it to Trump? To personally financially benefit from war? To just create chaos for the sake of creating chaos? You do not hate the uniparty in Washington enough. Because they hate you. They hate you to the point that they are willing to gamble nuclear global warfare over being upset that they are no longer the people in positions of power. F that. And if this just doesn't prove infinite times over exactly why Donald Trump walked away with the biggest share of the national popular vote a Republican president has ever seen, and the first time a Republican president has ever won the national popular vote since 2004 in 20 years, wake up. People are sick and frickin' tired of the same 100 people in Washington, D.C. gambling away everyone else's lives, safety, security, etc., to remain in power themselves. And the fact that this has now escalated to potential nuclear strikes speaks volumes to me about how little they actually care about you. So, it's been fun. If we all get nuked off the planet tomorrow, it's been a good run. These people cannot get out of Washington soon enough. And I cannot recommend, if you guys haven't already made prayer a part of your daily routine, downloading the world's largest Christian prayer app, Hallow, Hallow. They have more than 10,000 original prayers, meditations, history podcasts, lifestyle podcasts, mental health resources, everything you can possibly imagine that has totally transformed my prayer life and that of almost every single one of you as well. Hallow is offering you a 3-month free trial to all of the incredible content on their platform. If you go right now to hallow.com/Isabel, HALLOW.com/Isabel. And our friends over at Public Square, America's largest leading marketplace for small businesses that are all pro-family, pro-faith, and pro-freedom and pro-actual science, by the way, actually got their start out in the beautiful state of California. They are changing how we spend money in America one day at a time, realizing that where we spend our dollars is where culture is going to thrive. If you are looking for businesses to support that share your values, check them out at publicsquare.com. And if you are a business owner of any kind, make sure you add your small business to Public Square to connect with customers who share your values too. I'm so glad, by the way, that there are companies that are trying to get to the actual truth of matters like this and in standing for women in general. Just one of which happens to be my amazing friends over at Garnier. Garnier is the only period product company on the market that insists only women can menstruate. Thank you for that, by the way, Garnier, because we need a whole lot more of that. And their pads, their tampons, and their menstrual cup products are all 100% organic and completely non-toxic. I have noticed a huge change in my cycle since switching to Garnier products, and I cannot begin to recommend them enough to you, especially after we just found out that most leading tampon brands have arsenic and lead in them if you're buying them at Target or the grocery store. You can get a discount on your first order to Garnier if you click the link in the description of this video. And please, please, please embrace the same courage that they are in standing up for real womanhood in 2024 and beyond.